Let's go. Win. Oh, let's go, baby.
Let's go.
Complete the comeback. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the pregame show.
Let's go. Let's go.
Live from the Toyota Lounge. My goodness, fellas. Tonight really could be a full Highlander kind of night. Full round 4.
There can only be 3.
What's that?
Well, Highlander is the movie with the famous lines. There can only be one.
That's right. Highlander's right before me. That's like right before my time.
I actually only know it as that quote. I don't actually know what happens in the movie.
I didn't even know that quote. Driven by your range, Toyota Stores, Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. We're also presented by Bet365. Never ordinary tonight. What's not ordinary about it? The Nuggets can wrap up the series. Come on home, take a little nice weekend at the pool. That doesn't sound so bad.
Lots of potential pool time at play here.
You look at that forecast in Colorado this weekend.
Oh, I've seen it.
85.
I've seen it.
We almost get to 90. That's pool weather right there.
Bro.
Yoke's got it. Somebody send that to Yoke. Be like, hey, man, look at this.
We don't need to send that to him. He's got it displayed right when you walk in his house, probably. He's got the forecast.
He definitely has 2 apps on his phone, and one is the weather.
No, he definitely has just a sign at his house. It says either pool time or it's just off.
And
it's like a bar sign. That's like open or closed, pool time or no pool time.
And one of his buddies from Sombor is on salary, and his job is just
to flip it on.
Yeah, he's the pool guy.
He's the pool guy. Also, I have a feeling it's Miller time tonight, fellas. Our other sponsor here, Miller Lite. We'll probably have some. We'll probably crack a few open if we get to celebrate tonight. Might be Murray time. I predict it will be. Over here, Brendan Votes in the house.
Oh, man, what a beautiful day. I don't want to get too distracted with this women's lacrosse game that we have on here. I'm kind of enthralled.
Keep your eyes on the prize.
Sorry. Nuggets, game 6. I'm locked in. Really excited.
Dude, look at that mask. I guess I've never watched lacrosse 1 second in my life. They have a little...
Wow, you guys are really outing yourselves here on national internet.
Glasses that is just like a football mask. That's incredible. I don't even know what those are, but they look awesome.
So you get hit in the face with a stick.
Rudy Gobert warming up.
There we go. Rudy Gobert stretching. Over here, D-line, go.
That's right, guys. I can use a little pool time myself, if I'm being real.
I think we all do, man. We all do. Nuggets, do us a solid here. Give us a week off. And then over there, the man with the wind in his hair, Harrison.
I would love a week off. I feel like we've deserved it. We've worked hard throughout this playoff run.
Dude, we endured...
It's really the least the Nuggets could do for us, to be honest.
We've endured slings, arrows, takes.
Yeah. I want to stay on parade, but take a little breather in between.
I want to break from parade. If that's
a little
cool.
pit stop.
Little parade pit stop.
Tonight, to me, fellas, feels like the ultimate stay on parade game. And the reason I say that is the Nuggets have played phenomenal basketball for 3 games, and it feels truly like a parade. Tonight, if you lose, the series is still on. You come back to Denver, I feel good about that going to Game 7. So I'm not saying the series is over if you lose, but you win it, and it's just like the vibes have been so good. I've got that feeling I had last year where I'm like, the Nuggets are going to win a title. I don't know how, but it's going to happen. If you win tonight, that you never lose that feeling. You just get to ride it into the next round. So tonight, weirdly, doesn't mean anything literally, but it does mean something emotionally to me. You guys feel that?
Yes, man. Like the tide of the national perspective is unstoppable. And once it gets going in one direction or the other, and you can ride it, and yet, like, not only if it's working in your direction for you, nothing sweeter.
Yeah.
But if you get like any trip up, then you have to be like 3 days of like, oh my God, what did Stephen A. Smith say?
Right. But Vote, you never count your chickens before they hatch. But if we get to hatch them tonight, we're gonna spend all night counting chickens.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean,
hella chickens.
At the end of the day, it's everyone, like, you just want to win every game in front of you, of course, and all of that. But the extra stuff matters too. The narrative part of the way this series looked after 2 games, and then coming in and winning 4 straight, the delayed sweep, a little extra juice on it, and if nothing else, it'd be more fun for us. I think it'd be a better winner's lounge.
Yeah.
You know,
also,
if they win.
Also, casual Friday sounds great. Like serious business Friday. We got to come in tomorrow and talk about matchups and
maybe
stuff.
that's the show
Friday,
we do
dude.
from the pool.
Yeah, dude. That's
that's been
Splashdown
proposed.
Friday.
We even had somebody reach out to us and say we can do it from their pool.
From Nikola Jokic's pool. Maybe he's watching.
We'll definitely sneak into it.
all jokes aside, every every 24 hours you can buy Jamal Murray, I think, and KCP and Aaron Gordon matters. So,
100%, man. 100%. All right. Harrison, let's walk us through some game notes here.
These game notes come to us courtesy of Superstar Dev, who's back in Minnesota.
Oh, we're winning them.
And I don't know if you guys saw his breakfast this morning on Twitter. My guy's eating lobster tail for breakfast.
You got this, Kale? Did you have this?
What is happening?
Lobster tail.
Wait, he had that last time he was there. Is that a repeat?
I think he went to the same spot.
Oh, it's his spot.
Well,
That's
he's
his
friends with the
spot.
owner
He's
now.
got a
Yeah.
spot in Minnesota where he's eating lobster tail for breakfast. But
I guess it's no more ridiculous than steak and eggs if you really break it down. But
It's a little more ridiculous.
It seems more luxurious.
very, very much more ridiculous. The big injury news on...
Oh, there it is. Look at that.
Yeah, there
Well,
we
you
go.
gotta scroll up. You gotta scroll up. You're missing. We can't see
You
the
can't
lobster.
see the lobster fillet. There's like a little lobster that. There it is.
That actually looks really fucking gross. Like just that,
Lobster for breakfast. That's just too much.
just
little
upside
opulent.
down and weird.
A little opulent for me.
So to the game, the big injury news for Minnesota, Mike Conley, who missed Game 5, is playing tonight and in the starting lineup. He is good to go. So that's a huge boost for Minnesota. I mean, you really felt his absence in Game 5. So that's a big addition for Minnesota tonight in Game 6. Michael Malone was talking about Christian Brown, and he said, look, I think he's at his best when he's playing aggressive and confident. And he felt like there was a time when he saw that wavering this season, but he went back to a conversation he had really at the midpoint of this year with him and says since then, he just reminded him to be himself, be aggressive, and Christian Brown's really followed through on that over the second half of that season and into the playoffs and specifically this series. Michael Malone also touched on the Nuggets locker room leadership pregame. He said, we have a locker room of people who take ownership of the team. Specifically shouted out DeAndre Jordan and how much he means to this team, although he isn't playing. And also he spoke about Anthony Edwards and how the Nuggets are going to defend him and what he expects from Anthony Edwards in this game. Malone said, we know tonight, elimination game in front of their home crowd. He's going to do everything he can to get back to Denver for Game 7. And he also went on to say, look, he had 40-something points in a game that we won, and he had a bad game, in Game 5 where he scored 18 when we won as well. So there are different ways to defend him, but getting a win is obviously the most important goal here. And that's it. Mike Conley looked pretty good in warm-ups from all accounts. So did Anthony Edwards. The crowd did not boo Jamal Murray, reportedly, pregame in Minnesota.
Brother, they are shook.
It should be a good Game 6.
That's a brittle spirit.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, though, this is one of my takeaways tonight about what is it going to take to win. I just think early, don't let that crowd have any hope. Don't let that team have any hope. I think that belief is such an underrated part of sports. The closer I am to this, and specifically to this team, a championship team, belief is so huge. The Nuggets did not have it early on. Like, that was a little rattled. They bounced back. But the Wolves right now are at a point, I don't think they're going to quit, but I do think their belief is shaken. And if you go out and punch them right away, that belief just goes into full. Some guys will completely lose it.
Couldn't agree more. And look, none of us play in the NBA. I don't know if you guys... But you could go all the way back to elementary sports, man. The calm you get when the best player on the field, floor, court, is on your team.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know that on the base level of competition. You can feel that when you're riding with the best. It's a little easier to play in tight games. And for 2 games, man, Anthony Edwards looked like the best. And coming out of last night, Jokic looks like one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
And Anthony Edwards struggled against the trap. Now, that could flip quickly, but to your point, man, I think really all it would take is 12 more minutes of Anthony Edwards looking human, the Denver Nuggets and Jokic looking superhuman. And honestly, how could you be Kyle Anderson and be sitting there thinking, yeah, we're winning this series? He has to try to hold that mindset, but human nature is a part of this, and the Nuggets can strip them of confidence.
Yeah, I mean, that's psychological edge in sports. That's everything. I mean, all of these guys can make baskets whenever they want, if left alone in a gym by themselves. I mean, they have the
Kyle Anderson probably can't. He might have trouble.
He might have trouble.
He left him in a gym overnight. He'd only be like 0 for 8. That shot's so slow.
He can hit shots up, but the point, like,
What if he lived on a basketball
oh my,
court,
who would do such a thing? That doesn't even make sense.
So slow, man.
It really is. It is honestly, like, people talk about Jokic's game like being strange and hard to understand. Kyle Anderson's game defies logic.
Bro, they kicked it out to him with like 2 seconds left at the end of the quarter last game. Didn't get it off.
The worst was when he was on the fast break and couldn't
like,
catch up to that ball. That was
So great. Yeah, his game not aging well, I would say.
That's hilarious, man. It's hilarious. Look, man, you don't want to go to Game 7 because anything can happen. Also, a team getting life, getting energy, like getting belief. You just don't want that to happen. You don't want an officiator, this or that, something to go one direction. So to me, tonight, it's a great story. You went down 0-2. You became one of very few teams to ever come back after dropping 2 games at home and then going 4 in a row. It'd be a great story. By the way, crew chief tonight? Mark Davis. Mark Davis, the same guy who was there for Game 2 that allowed prison rules basketball. Same guy who has allowed one of the officials in the NBA that calls the least amount of fouls per game. So tonight should be physical. God. Denver cannot let that be a storyline. Even if it is a storyline, they have to go into this knowing, all right, we got that guy again. Doesn't matter. Whatever the rules are tonight, we got to just play through them.
Yeah, that's a little terrifying, actually. Game 2 was the most absurd game I've ever watched.
Mark Davis special. That's what he's known for.
Okay. Well,
If Michael Malone even says a word to him, he might be getting teed up.
Did you guys see the Kevin Garnett
Because
pie?
he didn't give him that tee last game.
Did you see the clip from KG talking about Mark Davis, where he said Mark Davis is one of those refs who, I don't want to butcher the story, but he one time told a player to shut his expletive ass up. Basically, Mark Davis will try to fight you on the court. So there are some guys who
he'll fight anyone but Michael Malone.
Yeah, I just thought that was in
In his
stark
face.
contrast with the Teague story on Tony Brothers. Then there's Mark Davis.
Yeah.
Who's a
Tony
guy
Brothers
who,
doesn't even
you
like
step to,
basketball.
and then he steps back up to you, and you go. Even guys like Kevin Garnett are like, all right, man, all right.
Whatever, this guy's crazy.
Not a guy to mess with, but Michael Malone, I mean, that's unstoppable force meets a movable object.
All right, let's ask that question. Circle K, who's going to eat? Presented by Inner Circle Rewards. Wind, I'll let you have the honors.
Well, I'll start with Nikola Jokic. He's definitely going to eat tonight.
Is he?
He is just in one of those zones, man, where no matter what defense the Timberwolves throw at him, he knows what to do at this point in the series. If they play him one-on-one like they've done the last couple games, he's going to score it or look to score it every time, especially if Rudy Gobert's on him. If they try to double-team him, I feel like he probably expects that a little more tonight, and he's going to find the open man. By now, he's seen everything in this series. He knows what's coming. He knows where it's going to come from, most likely. So I feel like really regardless of how Minnesota plays him, he's either going to have a monster scoring night or a monster assist night.
I like that. The only thing I'll say is my prediction tonight is that they just hard double. Not something they do a lot, but I think that their faith in their ability to now guard Jokic regular, the way they've done all year, is shattered. And so I would not be surprised if they do what the Lakers do and just double one pass away on the catch.
Right.
Don't let him dribble. Don't bring the just say, you know what? We'll play 4-on-3 behind Jokic and see if those guys can make plays on the road. And it's you know what? That's why tonight I would not be surprised if Jokic's numbers were a little more underwhelming than they have been the last few. But we'll see.
That's the pattern. Trust the pattern.
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon, for that reason. Aaron Gordon is going to get a lot of dump-offs from Nikola Jokic. He's going to be the beneficiary of a lot of Jokic evading double coverage down close to the rim. I imagine they're going to drop I imagine Jokic is going to do a fair amount of posting up this game, and I just see a lot of just wide open at the rim dunks from Aaron Gordon. It just feels like I don't know. It just feels inevitable at this point.
Yeah, I like it. Aaron Gordon. I actually think Aaron Gordon might not be the recipient of all of these as well, but he's been playing great. So same with Jokic. They might have good games despite the game not molding to them. They might just play good anyway.
Yeah, could it be a turnaround night for Michael Porter Jr.
Let's go.
because of this dynamic? And in stark juxtaposition contrast with the Lakers in round one, the Wolves have identified MPJ as a threat. They are not leaving him open. You know those weird step backs he had in, I guess, game 3, sort of the beginning, game 4 maybe, the beginning of the end for him with the shooting, where he lost confidence in his ability to shoot over contest, which he rarely does. I mean, the Wolves have not let him get open. And then once the confidence fell, he started missing even the open ones. So do wide open looks early in the game because they're doubling Jokic. Does that get Porter going? All it takes is one or two. He has not been good, but this could be the kind of circumstance that sparks his offense.
I think he gets open looks today, unlike what he's gotten the last two. But his defense, he's got to stay on the court with his defense.
Totally, man.
Because I think the shot opportunities are going to come to him. I'm going to go with Jamal Murray. I think it's a Jamal night. I feel like I'm gonna heat check.
Okay.
Because I felt like I had a great one last round. I said KCP's going to get open threes, but it's going to be a Yoke takeover. I'm going to heat check here.
Okay.
I think it's a Murray game because I think they're going to double a lot on Yoke, and he's going to have some opportunities, and he's going to be the guy that has to punish that the most. Not just with shot making, but mostly with scrambled defense. Make it even more scrambled. You're going to get to the rim, you're going to get to the mid-range, and you're going to make the swing passes. So I think a big game for him.
I hope so.
But here's another thing that I think is going to happen. Murray's been good in this series from games. He was really good in 3 and 4. 5, okay, but he's been good. He's kind of coming back. Has not been phenomenal by any means. But just like round 1, 2-game winners, it's like, oh, Murray was phenomenal. He's a top story.
He's going to steal this.
Tonight you have a great game, and everyone's like, was Murray the closer? Like, is Murray the team's like, I have a feeling that's going to be the storyline coming out of tonight. And you know what? That's fine.
Yeah.
Because
whatever.
These narratives keep feeding us.
Yeah.
It is great.
This Nuggets era is the best because they're undeniable, and people keep denying them. And so I feel like there'll be
We're
another...
the only ones who don't sound like idiots when we talk about the
It's
Nuggets.
wild, and everyone thinks that we sound like idiots, and then later on they're like, "Oh,
They're
God
the
damn
idiot.
it!"
It's really is
We're
Wile E.
the only
Coyote.
ones who know how to talk
Every
about
single game is Wile E. Coyote, where they're like, well, now it's Murray is clutch and Jokic can't do anything. It's like, all right, that's fine. Let's go to the next round and see what happens. But that's my prediction tonight: is that Murray brings us home.
I was going to pick Murray. The only reason I didn't is because of the Mark Davis factor. Like, if he could get
how great of a story is that, though?
If he can get tied up though by Nikhil Alexander-Walker and like Jaden McDaniels, like that makes me a little nervous. Which is why it makes me more confident in Aaron Gordon than Jamal Murray.
But here's the thing. Murray knows it. Murray had to sit in his own shame by his own admission about how he handled the last Mark Davis game. I think tonight is just as physical, just as bullshit, and Murray overcomes it.
I love
and
that.
It comes
I hope
full
so.
circle, and we go on to the next round.
A great story.
What boxes have been unchecked? Because I feel like round 1 they won, but there was a lot of unchecked boxes in the playoffs. Over this last series, though, I feel like there's been a lot of boxes that got checked. So what's unchecked from this playoff run that you would like to see tonight to close this out?
Man, that's a great question because one way or another, everyone has stepped up, I think,
At
in
some
different
point.
points at some point. And, man, that's a great
I'll give you
question.
one. I'll give you one to start us
We haven't
off.
seen Peyton Watson, and I don't think we will tonight,
Yeah.
which is why he's not my answer for this question. But I would say, like, generally speaking, he is the one guy we haven't seen have a big playoff moment. But I don't know if it's coming tonight. So what do you think?
There was a stat today I saw that
I love this.
had Jokic's assists in the playoffs. He has 21 to Aaron Gordon, 21 to Jamal Murray, 21 to Michael Porter. He's spread the ball around a lot. And look, a lot of that's just because, Jamal Murray hasn't been 100% of Jamal Murray.
Right.
What I would love to see today is just like a vintage two-man game from Jokic and Murray, and
Yup.
that be the main storyline.
Yup.
Like just Jokic and Murray, bread and butter, that pick and roll, carving up the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Peanut butter and jelly, if you will.
Especially late game in the fourth quarter. If the Nuggets could win anyway tonight, I hope that's how they win.
What if how many behind I wonder he is for KCP? What if he just gets like 17 assists to KCP to match everyone else?
That'd be great. I think that'd be a win.
17 assists to KCP is a lot of threes.
It's an underrated part of the Nuggets this year, though, in which everyone kept insisting on labeling it some kind of down year, even though the league got better and the Nuggets won more games.
Yeah.
But I think a big part of it is the two-man game is still the best card to play in all of basketball. But I think Denver's assist network is changing, and not just in the postseason, in the regular season as well. They're a bit less reliant on it, which is a good thing, because you want that in your back pocket, but you also want to be a team that can beat you in different ways. And I even think you've seen that come to fruition in how quickly the Wolves kind of changed some of their defensive principles, because they weren't just afraid of one thing from Denver, and they couldn't quite figure it out.
My other answer would be just a Jokic like near 20 assist game if he's getting double teamed a lot.
Dude.
I think his high in the series is 13 or 12. if he had like a 15+ assist game, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be
You have
cool.
one?
Yeah, there's like one clear one for me. We
Let me hear
have
it.
we had a Murray 40 piece.
Okay.
Like we haven't had like that. We've had the timely Murray shot, but we haven't had the dominating Murray performance yet. We haven't had a from start to finish. Jamal Murray is locked in. Bubble Murray is here. Get the hell out of the way. Shots that don't make sense. We've had portions. We've had quarters. We've had again the big shots, but we haven't had the big game from
Yeah.
Jamal Murray. We need the 40 piece.
You're probably right.
I've got 2 unchecked boxes. One, Jokic threes. He did hit 2 of them, but I think he took 7 last game. He hasn't had a game where he was like 5 of 6, 5 of 7. You know, where the 3 was just consistently falling, and I'd love to see it just because it's another weapon Denver could use. But my real answer is a clutch time win. And look, I'm
you're
always
right.
rooting for a blowout just because I don't always love the pressure. I just love the team to
Dude,
curb
we
stop.
went through it enough last year. Like, just we're trying to stay on
But
parade,
here's
dude.
the thing: you're going to the next level. At some point, you're going to need some clutch time offense. And in this series, there's been a lot of 10-point wins. There's been a lot of blowouts on both sides. To me, it would be nice to see the old Nuggets closing it out in the clutch with the 2-man game with great defense. You have a game tied with 5 minutes to go, and it's just a masterclass end where you're like, "That's right, that's
it.
the champs."
Love
They
it.
just executed down the stretch. I would love to see that tonight. If it's not for a blowout, get it done in the clutch. That would check a nice little box here.
That'd be great.
I don't know if you guys have been online lately,
Oh,
checking out different things going on.
I've
But there's a
dabbled.
new shoe that just dropped. In fact, 4 new shoes dropped.
A new
from
shoes that just dropped.
new shoes from our friends over at 361. Jokic, the new Jokic's have a SpongeBob theme.
Oh, wow.
They've got the SpongeBob yellows. They've got the Krabby the Crab reds.
Krabby the Crab.
Squidward,
Mr.
teals, and then
You're the-
Patrick the Stars.
Jesus Christ. You're actually a father. You're the only one that should be able to understand it. Yes.
Anyway, they're themed SpongeBob, you guys. I actually think it's dope. For one, I think the colors are actually really cool.
The
They're-
Squidwards and the Mr. Krabs are really
They're
cool. I
awesome.
love
They're
them.
actually really
Yeah,
dope. I don't
love
even
them.
clearly watch SpongeBob, nor do my children.
That sounds like you're just being withholding to them.
They watch Bluey or used to watch Bluey. But I think those shoes are kind of cool. And
They're
also
super cool.
Hilarious that they are SpongeBob themed.
Well, he's worn 3 of these already.
Yeah.
Like, and we looked at it. We
Deciphered it,
hypothesized that they were SpongeBob themed. I need to see the Jokic logo on these. I've not seen them. They must be on the other side or something.
Maybe
They-
on the heel or something.
the ones that are like the official Jokic ones are on the inside right here, and they don't show it there. So like the ones that my best friend CJ sent to me don't have the Jokic logo. So if these don't have the Jokic logo, then I'm starting to think that they're just. It's like the Jamal Murray New Balance shoes.
Oh,
just
they're
like
actually not signatures.
well, they're not like leaning into it enough. Like you wouldn't
Right.
have Jordan shoes without the Jordan logo on it.
Right.
But these are cool as hell. Like I love that, and of course, what could better encapsulate the spirit of Nikola Jokic than having cartoon shoes for his like signature shoes? It's perfect.
Is he going to come to a game dressed as SpongeBob now?
That would be incredible.
Oh my
Like
God.
he did for
Or
Despicable
Krabby
Me?
Oh my
Krabs.
God. That would be too far. A bridge too far.
Yeah, I think that's him leaning into the sponsorships a little too much.
You into him?
I think they look nice. I'm a real wet blanket on this one, man. I don't care about shoes, and I definitely don't care about SpongeBob.
Wow.
To be honest, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this.
Hater.
I don't have enough goodwill left to do what I was about to do. I'm
Let's go
not,
to another feel-good story and see if it ruins it. Bruce Brown got
Do you care
himself
about tattoos?
a tattoo. Like, look at this thing. First of all, there's a mountain. There's some pine trees. Actually, those look more like fir trees.
Is
We've
that a
got-
Timberwolf?
That's a wolf with no neck.
hell yeah, Bruce.
And obviously a Nuggets Larry O.B. This is Brucey B getting a Nuggets tattoo. I'm reading it. I know you shouldn't read into it. It's a tattoo. He won a title here. I'm reading into it. The man misses it. He'll be back at some point. You don't tattoo yourself for something like that unless you're like have an eye on it.
I think Bruce. I think it's very clear that if Bruce could handpick where he was playing basketball, it would be the Denver Nuggets on the same salary that he's on right now.
Right.
Unfortunately, you can't have both. So I respect it.
He's only got one more year on that deal, though.
Dude, I used to think Bruce was a Class A panderer. I think Bruce loves Colorado to his core. And in fact, I know that because if you didn't, that would be a tough tattoo to get. So
Dude, just think about the timing of this tattoo. He
It's
was
wild.
on the Raptors. His season is over. He's clearly just watching the Nuggets in
Great
the
take.
playoffs.
Of course.
And
Great
being
take.
like, That was fun. Let me get a tattoo of
Dude,
that.
it's like getting a tattoo of your girlfriend's name after you broke up 2 girlfriends ago.
Yeah, after she looks like really hot with another guy.
While your other girlfriend's paying you a lot of money.
Like your ex-girlfriend is on TV, and you're like,
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
maybe she'll notice.
I can't love Bruce more. I love it. Even if he doesn't ever come back to Denver, when you do something like that afterwards, it's like, man, that's our guy forever. Hey, free drinks at the DNVR bar whenever you want, Brucey B. Let's round out the show now by hopping on the Bet365 Never Ordinary Sportsbook app and turning our attention to whoever it is that's filling in for Dev.
That's me. I'll do it.
Let's
Fuck it.
go.
Let's go. I'm actually just going to read off Dev's bets that he provided earlier.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I get the best of both worlds. I get
There
the
you go.
spotlight and none of the blame.
Perfect.
So,
First of all, there's a DNVR bet.
yes.
Okay.
I was going to
I
go
didn't know
there.
if
I
that
mean,
was okay.
Jesus Christ, what is this? Bet365 has been so gracious to partner with us with a bet that I think is actually a very good play, which is Jamal Murray to get
It's a great
over 20
play.
points and the Nuggets to win.
We submit these, by the way. We
Yes.
submit the recommendations.
This-
And I'm like, this is it.
This feels like a very vibey win. Like, what better way to stay on parade and have a little walk around money?
The Murray take us home bet.
Come on, baby. The Murray take us home bet. It feels like a good one. Murray is due to, now that it's an elimination game, to like really step up and drive a nail into the coffin of the old Timberwolves. But to that end, like Dev and myself, we also just like the Nuggets money line, plus 115. You can get plus money for the Nuggets to win. And you want to talk about, I mean, I don't really believe in momentum when it comes to playoff games. They can change so quickly from game to game. But if it does exist, the Nuggets could not have more of it in their corner right now. I mean,
Hell yeah.
everything is going the Nuggets' way. The narrative around Nikola Jokic has become absurd in the way that it has in the opposite direction before when what
I accidentally bet the Timberwolves to win. I got to now double the bet. For the. I was confused.
can't you
I
buy
doubled the
my
bet now, so I
God.
got it. So now I'm.
Jeez.
It's like a single bet. I just screwed up.
so Adam has a betting problem but not like in like in that he just doesn't understand how to do it.
My eyesight's not so good.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. Me and Dev on the same wavelength. He believes Aaron Gordon, to get over 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists. You can get that at minus 105. That's good value for what both Dev and I see as a very big opportunity for Aaron Gordon to take advantage of the Minnesota Timberwolves, realizing that it's not a good strategy to make Nikola Jokic a scorer.
I'm a little more nervous about this one, but I never question you or Dev.
You
so I'm
question
on
me
it.
constantly, but you never question Dev, and that's the right way to
That's
go
really
about
what
it.
I was trying to
That's
say.
the right way to go about
Yeah,
it.
that's what
I actually approve.
Yeah.
I live my own life that way.
Yeah.
I question
The
myself.
self-awareness on this show is really high.
It's out of control.
Yeah.
We need self-esteem classes, fellas.
Yeah, we do.
We really are living our best lives and acting like it's our worst. And then the lock. The lock. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Are you gonna
I'm gonna
wait
make sure
till
I
we
get it
say
right.
it so that you can bet the right thing? Nikola Jokic over 8.5 assists.
All right.
Okay.
Minus 145 because it is the lock. You can sweeten it with maybe the Nuggets money line, but I think that we all sort of see the game going the same way. From what I understand here, that Nikola Jokic will be forced to distribute the ball to others, which is not anything. That's not a bad thing. That's just the other way he kills you. You pick your poison, but you're going to get poisoned. So. There it is.
I like you can get plus 310 for Murray over 25 if you buy it up a little bit. I don't mind that one either. I think this is a big Murray game. I just think
It
that
feels it. I mean, the stars have aligned. This is, and again, trust the pattern. Nikola Jokic,
TTP.
big game right before the elimination. The elimination game, I would take the
Have you
triple
seen
double.
his numbers in elimination games?
I would take the triple double. I wouldn't anticipate another 40-point scoring game, but I would anticipate big numbers that were more rounded.
we got one super chat, Kel. Pablo.
Pablo Alfaro, 20 years following the Nuggets, around 6 to 7 years following you guys. Seeing this team in the pregame show, it just never gets old.
Hell yeah,
Fucking
dude.
go, guys!
Dude, we
Pablo,
needed
you're
that.
a
We
god,
needed a
man.
little
We
vibes
needed
boost. You know what else
we're
we need?
too self-aware, Pablo. Pump us up.
We appreciate that very much. Grace of the Curls is here, a.k.a. Grace Marlowe. She's going to
let's
be joining
go.
us right now over on the watch along. So hit the like button here.
She's
Head
painting
on
her.
over.
Yeah, she's painting her face right now with what looks to be a pickaxe. She's into it.
Really?
I mean, I can't see from here, but it looks like it's just yellow
All right.
and blue.
Head on over to the watch along. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll see you there.
Let's go.